This is Robert Nicholson at LearningJack.com. We're talking about search engine optimization. Last time we talked about a variety of ways to get links to your website and build your site's rank. The main thing to remember is to be persistent. Keep looking for new places to get links. Ask people for links at every opportunity you get. If you spend a couple of hours a month on this and you stick with it, you'll be surprised at how quickly your rank improves, because frankly, most of your competitors are going to give up and not continue their link building efforts. And speaking of competitors, this is another great way to get links. Find out who is linking to your competitors' websites. There are a variety of tools that will do that. We'll look at a couple of them. But again, you can go into a search engine and search for backlink checkers, and you'll find a bunch of tools that you can try out. Now, each time you find a site that links to one of your competitors, you can look at them, perhaps contact them if it seems appropriate, and ask them for a link. But besides specific sites to ask, you may discover categories that you hadn't thought of. Last time I talked about an optimization project for a site called Copyright Safeguard. Initially, we thought that we should get links from legal sites. But when we began looking at competitor sites, what we found is that many of them were getting links from art-related sites because artists have an interest in copyright law. So we started asking for links from art-related sites. We did a few content articles in exchange for links with artists, and that turned out to be a very, very effective way to build links to what was basically a legal-oriented website. So let's take a look at a couple of these tools. First one, Backlink Watch, is one of my favorites. It's free, it's easy to use. And what it does, you enter the web address or the URL of one of your competitors' websites, and it's going to show you the URLs of all the pages that link to that competitor. It will show you the text that makes up that link. Maybe it's a link on an image. It will show you that. They've got some other information over here which isn't too useful. The main thing you're going to get is just a good list of who's linking to your competitor. Now, here's a paid tool that provides a great deal more comprehensive information. It tells you all sorts of things about the value of the pages that are linking to you. And remember, links from high-value pages carry more weight. So this is useful information, knowing which pages to focus on and ask for links from. And then there's a bunch of other information over here. If you were to use this particular tool, they have some help text that explains all these fields. The main thing is that if you're doing a very serious, ongoing backlink research project, you may want to pay for a tool like this. For first trial, use Backlink Watch. It's great, it's free, it's easy. And then if you continue to do this, you may want to graduate to a paid tool. So, looking at your competitors' links is a great way to find new sources of links to your site. But there's some other things that you can do, some tricks that you should know about that will not only improve the rank of your site, but also help to contribute to the relevance. How do you do that? Make sure that you get good text in the links to your site. Text that includes relevant keywords. So let's say that I have a page that's about VoIP, voice over IP telephones. And if I can get someone to give me a link that says VoIP phone comparison, that's a super link because it tells Google what my page is about. It improves the relevance. These links are not so good. Click here. Well, Google thinks about half the pages on the web are about click here because that's what everybody says. Or, okay, here, they've got my URL as the link. That's okay. Neither of these is bad. Every link is good. But if I can get the specific keywords that I want to reinforce the relevance of my page, that's an even better link. How powerful is this? Well, let me give you an example. Many years ago, a bunch of college students, actually a couple of thousand college students, all linked to George Bush's biography on the whitehouse.gov website. This was the official biography on the White House website. And they used the text, miserable failure. Now, bear in mind, the words miserable failure did not appear anywhere on George Bush's page. Obviously, he wouldn't say that. But after thousands of college students built these links on their own pages, if you typed miserable failure into Google, George Bush's biography came up as the very first search result. So this is a very, very powerful tool to tell the search engine what a page is about. Now, Google has actually since patched that, fixed that. If you type miserable failure now, I think it will take you to a Wikipedia page that talks about this. But bottom line is, this is a very powerful technique to bear in mind. Always ask for keywords when you're asking for a link. We've talked a lot about links, and the reason is that they're really, really, really important to tell the search engines how important your website is. But there are quite a few other factors that influence your placement in search results. One thing is, when your site comes up, how many people click on it? That tells the search engine whether your site is interesting or not. So you want to have a good page title, and remember we mentioned that description tag. You want to have a good description tag because these things encourage users to click on your site, okay? And then once the search engines see those clicks, they're going to think your site's a more valuable site. Having a Google Plus page linking to your site, that obviously carries some weight with Google. Social likes and shares are increasingly important. If people are sharing your page on Facebook and liking it, that carries weight. It increases your rank. So it's a good idea to have share buttons and like buttons for the major social networks on every web page. Download speed is important. Remember I said the search engines want to take users to good sites. And that's not just content. A site that takes a long time to download is not a good site. So make sure that your site is pretty fast. If it's not, ask your web developer what the problem is. You may even need to change hosting companies. Make sure that your HTML, the code that makes up the web page, is valid, because search engines are starting to kind of take points off for bad HTML that doesn't really work or display properly. Another factor that as of April of 2015 has become important is mobile friendliness. If your website does not display correctly on smartphones and mobile devices, then Google and other search engines will lower you in the search results on mobile devices. Because if someone is searching from a mobile device, Google does not want to direct them to a site that won't display correctly. So that's an important thing to understand. We talked a little bit about semantic tagging and how including semantic tags can give the search engines more information about what your site is about. So that's a valuable technique. Domain longevity is a factor. Google gives a little more weight to old domains that have been around for a while. They tend to think that you're more reliable if you've been around for a few years. So hang on to those old domains. Update frequency. Google likes things to be around for a while and reliable, but they also want it to be fresh. So update your site regularly so that Google says, this is an active site, it's being kept up to date, maintained, the information is going to be current. Link frequency. Remember I said you should continue to work on building links. Why? Well, not only will you get more links if you keep at it, but Google likes to see sites that continue to get more links because it thinks that those sites continue to be of interest to people. So link frequency is another factor. I wish I could tell you which of these is the most important factor, but the search engines don't like to disclose that information. So think about all of these things and try to incorporate as many of them as you can. It's also important to be listed in local search results if you are a local business. Okay? And all of the things that we've talked about are still important, but here are a few additional factors that affect local search results. Local business directories. If you can get listed in business directories for your city or your local chamber of commerce, that carries some weight. Have a Google Plus business page, whatever Google is calling those pages these days, a Google Plus page for your business. You want lots of positive ratings and reviews. Google reviews and Yelp reviews carry the most weight. Others not so much, but get them anyway. Positive reviews and ratings contribute to your site's visibility. For local web search results, you want the city and state to be featured prominently on your page, and in your page title, and also use semantic tags so that Google knows that's where your business is located. So keep all of these things in mind. It's a lot to do, but if you continue to work at it, you will see the benefits. See you next time.